Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take another look here at Ethereum, see what's going on. Gonna double check some important factors here. The main topic being, should we short this coin? And I say that, and I want to open with that because this coin, every single time it pumps up, it pulls back significantly hard. We can see a very significant and consistent trend in the recent past. So not saying you short because of that, but trends are your friend. And essentially, in most cases, that's kind of what you want to respect and go from there. But either way, Bitcoin is maintaining very well in the 91K range, which it was just 85, 86,000 24 hours ago. So things can change in this market. Let's talk a little bit about liquidation and kind of go from there. So first things first, hit the like button before we go any further. And second thing is 1725 to 1750 is that local area of liquidation. We got what, about 10 to maybe 20 billion in liquidation between 1730 and just say 1760. There's a lot. Okay, so it does incentivize the price to go higher because these are kind of like low to medium short leverage trades that are essentially subject to getting swept. So there is that. We also want to recognize from a macro perspective, there's still a heck of a lot upwards of 1800. So do you short this coin based on the current trend? The short answer is probably no. You definitely don't want to. I mean, the market is looking pretty strong. So, when I do say and opened with considering a short on this coin, it comes with a higher risk probability, right? But once more, with this liquidation above the price action, that does incentivize the price to go higher. So just be careful if you're considering a short of this coin. It has essentially, it's broken its local range too, and we'll show you on the charts what that means. First of all, we got roughly about 4 billion in liquidation delta. That's very high, implying that bulls are in play, and you generally don't want to short into it. Now, do you want to take a long with this coin either? That's the question. Short answer, I would say, is no, because this coin hasn't been very strong in the recent past. I mean, as much as I added to my spot bag in the 1600 range, I'm not going to be trying to take a long with leverage at this anytime soon, mainly because it just feels wrong, right? There's something off about this. And what I mean by that is, well, first of all, Bitcoin, while it's doing pretty well, it's hard not to feel like it's a trap, okay? So just please recognize that we are shifting bullish. We've got almost every single sign that we're going to go up. That's usually when the price goes down. So just some friendly advice. Be very careful trading coins right now to the upside. It feels like we're at our tentative top for the moment. However, I'll double check with our crypto market update later to kind of show you what I mean by that when I look at Bitcoin dominance and the CME futures, see if there's any gaps there. Those things are all super relevant, okay? But for now, we got a fair value gap upwards about 1750. That coincides with that liquidation range above the price, so that does imply that we could see further upside. From a macro perspective, money flow index is higher than the RSI. That's always good. However, we're in a position where we're still under 50 on the RSI. We haven't been above 50 on the RSI since January of this year. And that's when things were still pretty shaky there with the new president there. Okay, or that's as soon as things hit the fan, and you know what I mean by that. When Bitcoin went from 110K down to about 78K in like 2 to 3 months. So all that being said, the daily time frame looks mostly good, but the thing you got to recognize is the 50-day SMA is up here at about 1830. It's a long ways away. So it's not really all that optimal to take a long position in the blind against that kind of resistance, right? We haven't broken any macro trends. We have broken this short-term descending trend though. So there's that. It implies a short-term run is likely here at this point. We look at the 4-hour time frame. We can recognize here as well that the moving averages minus the 200 are all below the price. So further upside to roughly the 1750 makes a ton of sense. So me personally, I might set an alert here and consider a short in the 1750 range. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. It's a local bottom too, and it's a 0.618 fib level for this current retracement. There's a lot of reasons why there's more confluence in the 1750 range, and it's probably better. You're probably better off waiting. Now, a lot of times people will misinterpret that and think that they should take a long to that level. The short answer is no on that one, but it's also recommended to not take any shorts for the moment because most coins are going to continue to go higher with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is showing no signs of slowing down. So there's a lot of reasons why you're probably just better off waiting on this coin. I know you probably don't like that because you want to watch this video and you want somebody to tell you what to do. And that's a very common occurrence. Moon boys, everyone else is going to tell you what to do. I'll tell you what to do when it's the right thing to do. And right now, the best thing is no trade because we're kind of in this middle range here. You got a small margin for profit to the downside if we fill the fair value gap at like 1630. But there's a small amount of profit at 1750 as well between now and then. Why not short from there to like the $1,600 range instead of trying to get crazy with a lot of small little trades? Anyways, those are the things I look for. I'm not perfect. I mean, we have a short position open with Bitcoin. It's in the red right now. But the truth is we offset it with XRP and Solana longs. and 2 really awesome Bitcoin longs from the low 80K range to the 90K range. So it all works out in the end if you just make sure that you are patient and you don't get too crazy with your trades. So that's kind of my insight there. What are your thoughts? Why don't you comment below, let me know where you're at. I'll post a new playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and we'll go from there. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much again for your support. See you soon.